things I'm curious about, how much has the office changed? How much has the work of the Secretary of State's office changed in that time?
Well, the statutes that we enforce pretty much have stayed the same, but the way that we do it is at least 180, if not 300. I mean, it's just really, really different. When I came in, we were a state of 7.5 million people, and now we're about 10.5. So that's a large number. I mean, it's basically half again, large. We had an old Wang system that was what the state of Delaware had used, and it was their secondhand equipment that they sold to a prior Secretary of State. And when we had any problems, we had to pay for somebody to fly in from Tennessee, because the closest person that had any ability to work on a Wang system was that far away. So it was a mess. We just had static. You couldn't interact with anything. It had a telephone number and an address. And the employees that were using the office side of it, it took 20 seconds between screens. And it would take about 5 screens to even answer any questions at all. So it wasn't very efficient at all. Fortunately, I had served in the state Senate, and the folks there trusted me. They knew me and knew I was going to do what I said I was going to do, and they believed in me that I had the ability to do it. There wasn't even a technology plan. We thought there was, but then about a month before I got sworn in, after being elected, I got a telephone call that said, "Oh, sorry, there really isn't a plan that the IRMC was supposed to approve." So there I was, just, standing still by myself. But I grabbed onto a very fine state employee named Bruce Garner, who has always been in the IT division. And Bruce was assigned to the Secretary of State's office at one time. So that was one of the real keys. Bruce did not have a big learning curve. So Bruce led us into a technology plan. Bruce was project manager on developing the software that we now operate on. The state of North Carolina, or Secretary of State's office, actually owns our software. We hired developers to come in and work with office staff to prepare it. It was our property every minute that they were coding. And that has been a godsend, because we did not have enough money to do everything that was needed. So there was a wave of change of law, and a lot of Secretary of States around the country were needing to do a major upgrade. And we had developed the upgrade ourselves. Some of them were paying $10 million to just have this commercial loan part of it upgraded. And we ended up trading, bartering what we had, and told them, if you build anything on this architecture, your only requirements to have this are, number one, give North Carolina a little credit. And number two, if you build anything on, we get it back. We get the upgrades back. So our notary program was actually done by the state of New Mexico and Kentucky. We can thank them for that. And then we customized it for our needs. And that's how we build the different component parts of the architecture on. So that part was a major step forward. That's allowed us and businesses to interact with government as it's progressed across the years into, a model of what should be done. The department's received any number of awards on our technology, and some of these awards are 10 years ago. We were one of the first doing some of this stuff. So we've streamlined and continued. We've since developed electronic notarization that allows for a totally paperless loan closing. And we're seeing that grab a hold. There were a lot of pieces of parts to that, but we've gotten them all in place. Several of them depended upon Fannie and Freddie of acceptance of electronic notes and those kind of things that were a little bit out of my control, but we kept nudging, and they worked with us so that they knew the product that we were creating was going to be acceptable to them. So technology has just changed dramatically.
Well, and I think you're kind of getting to what my next question